Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Butler. I'm so honored to be part of this ceremony. My mom, also a donor, saving lives left and right. So thank you guys for letting me come sing you some songs today. Down along the water, I see you in my mind. Down along the water, I'm wasting all my time. Together we will one, watch the days roll by, kiss the setting sun. Only you and I, down along the water, is where I'll always be. Down along the water, she's waiting there for me. Together we were one, watch the days roll by, kiss the setting sun, only you and I.
Welcome to Nevada Donor Network's 2023 Virtual Donor Remembrance Ceremony. My name is Elizabeth Shipman, Director of Organ Services for Nevada Donor Network, and it is my honor to host this very special event. Prior to joining Nevada Donor Network, I worked at a large multi-organ transplant center, which gave me perspective on how the gift of life can impact, save, and heal those waiting. I am fortunate to wake up every morning ignited by passion for our mission and now to be able to speak with you, our donor families. It is my pleasure to introduce Chaz Blackburn, Director of Volunteer Services at Circle of Life Hospice. He is a licensed and ordained spiritual care chaplain, and it is our honor to have him here to deliver the invocation and begin today's ceremony in the most powerful way. Please welcome Chaplain Blackburn.
Hello, my name is Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I'm the Director of Volunteer Services at Circle of Life Community Hospice and with the Great Basin Chaplain Corps. Please join me and place your right hand over your heart as we gather today. We realize that we stand together in our grief and in our mourning. We recognize that on this path, unfortunately, we are not alone. We also stand together with pride in honoring our loved ones for the gifts and the sacrifice in which they have given. We likewise hold our hands near our hearts, where we keep them close and living on through our shared and our oh so treasured memories. Our hand where we keep the flame and the light of love, which will always keep lit and burning for them as they watch from above. We honor the many donor heroes who gave the gift of hope, giving such through the emotional transplants of hope to all those currently on and all those who will be on a transplant waiting list, giving the powerful and the precious gift of hope for more time and a brighter future. We also honor those donors who have given the gift of strength and health through the miracle of transplantation, giving the precious gift of literal physical strength to the recipients' bodies. And thirdly, we honor their precious gift of life, not only the actual breath of life, but a life to the fullest, a vibrant, renewed vitality, a savored, coveted, and appreciated, precious second chance at life. Together we ask for hope, strength, and life as we begin to press forward on the special day of remembrance. Hope for remembering and cherishing what was, and letting go of what could have been. Hope that one day we may be reunited with our donor heroes. Strength and unity as we continue forward on this journey together to see some good come from the bad. Strength to find purpose, allowing light to arise from the darkness of tragedy as we follow the example of helping others just as our precious donor heroes have. Life that we may live up to our life's greatest potential, the potential that we know in our hearts that our loved ones would have wanted us to live. Despite our never-ending longing for their warm embrace, we strive to make them proud in life. And lastly, we ask for peace, healing, and comfort a peace that surpasses all understanding, and one that calms the chaotic storms of our grief, healing through sharing, fellowship, and remembering, and finally the comfort of continually saying our donor heroes' names, ensuring that they are never, ever forgotten. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Blackburn. I would now like to welcome Nevada Donor Network's President and CEO, Joe Ferreira. Joe has led the Nevada Donor Network since 2012. He serves the mission of the organization with a joyful, relentless, and selfless spirit while inspiring his team to do the same. Please help me welcome Joe.
It is a tremendous honor to be here today with all of you. At the core of Nevada Donor Network's life-saving and healing mission is the heroic donors and their courageous families. Your loved one has made life and health possible for those in desperate need. At the core of our mission is you. By saying yes to donation, you and your loved one chose to be a light of hope for another family. Someone's child, parent, neighbor, or friend has been given the ultimate gift because of this heroic decision. Today, we wish to share the profound impact each donor hero has on the world. We gather to honor their legacies. We want you to know from the bottom of our hearts just how deeply grateful we are to your family for entrusting our team with caring for your loved one. Please know we are here to continue standing beside you. On behalf of the entire Nevada Donor Network team, thank you for allowing us to honor your loved one today. Their generosity will be remembered always. Thank you for making the gifts of hope, strength, and life possible.
Thank you, Joe. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Courtney Kaplan, a heroic donor mother who volunteers her time to share more about organ, eye, and tissue donation in honor of her son, Michael. Her journey began in May of 2019 when Michael unfortunately passed away after a tragic motorcycle accident. Michael was able to give the gift of life and healing to 5 individuals through organ donation and over 20 others through tissue donation. Courtney shares that grief is love that has no place to go. Michael has given her a chance to love him as a mother and share his love with his recipient families. Please welcome Courtney to share her son's story.
Mikey is very outgoing and knew very early on that he had a love for motorcycles. On May 17th of 2019, he had picked up his cap and gown, his tickets for graduation, and came home and modeled off his cap and gown for his father. And then Mikey got a call, and it was his best friend, David.
Metro Police say he was wearing a helmet, but still suffered serious head injuries.
Mike hopped on the bike and unfortunately did not make it to David's house. UMC had come to us about being one of the first honor walks. So from his trauma center all the way to the operating room, there would be individuals lining the hall to show honor to Michael. I sat with him while we made that first turn and just thinking about all the wonderful memories and times that we spent, and taking that final walk and being honored in such a way as a family and as Michael as an individual for the gift he made is one of those life-changing events. I'll never forget it as long as I live. At this point that I'm aware of, at least 9 families have benefited from Michael's organs, and I was so proud to be part of that history making for UMC, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Next, I will introduce Jason Schechterly. He always dreamed of serving his community as a law enforcement officer. Unfortunately, his dreams came to a halt after a routine traffic stop resulted in him being trapped inside his burning patrol vehicle. Jason suffered extreme burns to more than 40% of his body. This dramatically altered his appearance and life. He persevered and is a beautiful example of a grateful recipient living their second chance to the fullest. Please help me welcome Jason.
Hi everybody, My name is Jason Schechterly from Phoenix, Arizona. Speaking to this audience is incredibly humbling to both share my story, but try to accurately portray the sense of gratitude that I have and I've had for almost 20 years now. On March 26th of 2001, I was working my dream job, almost 20 years ago. And life, as many of you understand, before it changes, it seems perfect. I was at work one night on a routine patrol. On my way to a call, my car was struck from behind by a taxi cab that was doing over 100 miles an hour, causing my car to burst into flames. Thus began miracles and twists of fate that are hard to describe. My car came to stop right in front of a fire truck that was in the same intersection at the exact moment that I needed them most. They were able to go to work, got me out of the car in about 90 seconds. Because of the intensity of this fire, and even in just 90 seconds, I had suffered burns to 43% of my body. My neck, head, and face were the worst. They were fourth-degree burns. This is a term I'd never heard. I thought third degree was the worst burns you could have. Fourth degree means it's down the last layers of muscle into the bone. I was 2.5 miles away from what I consider one of the best burn centers in the United States at Maricopa County Hospital, and I was on their trauma table in less than 8 minutes. Another huge miracle. Give those doctors a chance to fight for me. My family was gathered around very quickly, and they were told, very bluntly, my wife, my parents, Jason will not survive these injuries. Nobody can survive burns of this nature to their neck, head, and face. They took me into surgery, placed me into a medically induced coma. Just knowing the pain and surgeries I was going to face, they wanted to keep me pain-free and quiet and tried to give my family what little bit of peace they could have as they waited for what they thought was going to be the inevitable announcement that I hadn't survived. During that first surgery, the interesting thing with a burn injury, they will keep on burning. So they have to get all of that dead bacteria-filled tissue off of you. Draw a circle on my collar and erase everything up. That's what they had to do. The entire physical identity that I'd known for 28 years at the time. My ears, my nose, my eyelids, everything was completely removed right down to the last layers of muscle and to the bone. And at that point, it no longer mattered about what the firefighters did, what the doctors did, even how lucky I was, the timing that it got me to the hospital. When you get to that point, when everything is removed, when you've lost all those fluids and all that protection, the only way that you can survive is by becoming a tissue recipient. The gift of life. It is not just 3 words. It is so much more than that. I didn't have 1 or 2 tissue donors. I had dozens and dozens of donors that kept me going that second day, that third day, that following week, protecting me from the infections that you're going to battle with an injury like this from just being in the hospital. I needed those layers of skin to protect me and to help me get through that. And they did. I spent 2.5 months in a coma. I spent 5 months in a hospital. And even after waking up in a coma, as you can imagine, I was awoken to a nightmare that I didn't understand. I was completely blind. I really couldn't process what was going on. And I didn't have the ability to process how I had lived, how I had really survived. I ended up spending 5 months in the hospital, went through a lot of therapy, went through a lot of surgeries, and it continued this way that I was just so thankful that I was alive. I was grateful. I didn't understand fully the miracles and the timing and the twists of fate. But not long after I got home, I started to learn about being a tissue recipient. I started to learn from the doctors when I could ask them the right questions, when I had gotten strong enough to have a clear mind and want to know exactly what had taken place, to even put into words. And that's what really started the positive momentum moving for me. And the beautiful thing about positive momentum is once it gets going, you just got to get out of the way. It's an unstoppable force. And I continued on that path. I got to do so many wonderful things in life. I got to carry the Olympic torch. I got to throw out the first pitch at an Arizona Diamondbacks game. I got to meet the President of the United States. And I was going along on my path. And my biggest goal, my dream, was to make something out of my life. Not only to get stronger, but to take care of my family and get back to work. But in the midst of that, my wife and I had decided, we had a daughter and a son, 7 years old and 3 years old. So blessed. But you go through something like this and it definitely makes you think and appreciate life. So we decided to try and expand our family, bring another life into this world. And we were so blessed. On October 29th of 2002, only 18 months after my accident, my wife gave birth to our youngest child, Mason. And when I got him home from the hospital, that is when I truly realized what the gift of life means and the importance. Now it's not about getting me out of a car. Now it's not about getting me through 1 or 2 surgeries. This is an entire life that's been created, should not exist. And I have watched Mason grow for the past 18 years into just a phenomenal young man and watch his deep appreciation for the life he lives. He's getting ready to graduate high school, go off to college in Charlotte, North Carolina to play baseball. What if Mason grows up and has 3 or 4 children of his own? Then they grow up and have 3 or 4 children. Those first few hours, those first few days and surgeries of being a tissue recipient can go on and on and on with no logical end. It is impossible to wrap my mind around that. It is so much bigger than what we realize in these moments. But I look at him every day with that humble appreciation, and I am so grateful. 3 years ago, I walked my daughter down the aisle. For those of you dads out there who have done that, it's one of those moments, unless you've experienced it, you can't explain it. And on that walk, all I could think about was 2 things. Number one, every step I had taken from March 26th of 01 that got me to that altar with her was worth it. But also I thought about my donors. Did they get to do this? Did they get this opportunity? Because they gave me the opportunity, and that was not lost on me, and it filled me with a spirit and a joy and a passion that even renewed, after all those years, it renewed me for the next 20 years that I'm going to face. We just found out recently that that same daughter that I walked down the aisle is pregnant, and I'm going to be a grandfather in July for the first time. I get to experience that because of people like you. I can't take away your pain, and I don't expect you to find joy. I'm not trying to ease any of that for you, but I hope in the midst of what you're going through, as you reflect on the lives of your loved ones that were lost, and you do find comfort and joy in the time that you got to have with them, I hope that you're able to find some peace in knowing that their gifts of life do matter. They matter to people like me, and it is in endless ways. I promise you that I wake up every day with a dedication to making the day better than I found it. I will always live my life with gratitude. I'm not worried about my appearance. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm not a police officer anymore. All I care about is that I have the gift of life and I get to be a dad. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. And I'm trying to react to my adversity the best way that I can and to honor all of you the best way that I can, with hope and faith and gratitude. And I hope that you are able to find some peace in the trauma and adversity that you have faced. God bless all of you. I thank you so very much. My wife, my children, every day we think about each and every one of you and all of the donor families across this country. God bless all of you. Stay safe.
Jason, wow. Words cannot express how moving your story of determination is. The life-saving power of donation illustrated. I'd now like to introduce Shirley Lamb, Nevada Donor Network's Aftercare Supervisor. She will be walking us through this beautiful tribute ceremony.
Please have a candle ready for the tribute ceremony portion of our program. Your loved one's legacy will forever be remembered. Today, we proudly honor all of the heroes who have saved and healed lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation, including donors in spirit whose willingness to give all they could is equally cherished. A very special guest will be sharing his talents with us during this part of our program. David Butler is a local musician and part of an incredible organization called Musicians on Call, who brings the healing power of music to local hospitals for patients and staff. He also has a personal connection to donation as a donor hero's son. In a moment, our tribute will begin. Please join us as we light a candle in honor of the heroes we love, we miss, and we thank for giving the most precious gift of all.
I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. I close your eye, I go in shadow. I close your eye for what's not there. Some kind of light into your darkness. Close your eye for what's not there. Fade into you. Strange you never knew. Fade into you. I think it's strange you never knew. take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. Fade into you. Strange, you never knew. Fade into you. I think it's strange, you never knew.
Today marks a new beginning, a powerful connection to those around us whose unique journeys look different yet similar. As you lit your candle, your loved one was united with the loved ones of every family member here today. No one navigates this journey alone because we are all connected through the gift of life. We invite you to connect with us, share your loved one's story, inspire others. When and if you are ready, we are here to help you write to the recipients of your loved one's gifts. We will navigate this journey together. For more resources and information, please visit nvdonor.org.
As today's ceremony comes to an end, we share our utmost appreciation with everyone who joined us in honoring and remembering their loved one's legacy of hope, strength, and life. We wish you comfort and healing.